Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 20th episode of the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. And so, if you got the notification on Twitch, this is our first Monday broadcast. So, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we have historically been broadcasting on Friday, and we've made this little switch. So, if this is your introductory episode to our campaign, I highly recommend you checking out our YouTube channel, which I will get to in a moment. So, before we get started tonight, we're going to go through some beginning announcements. We're going to go through some introductory kind of things to, we'll do a little recap. Um, and then we'll meet everyone and we'll get going on it. So, the first thing that I always like to do is recommend that everyone join our Discord server. That is where we post as much information as we possibly can. It's where we posted the confirmation about our schedule change. It's where we post whenever whenever our sessions go up on YouTube. So it really is the best way to kind of keep up to date with everything. But all of our links are found on our link tree, which our moderator Lido is posting in chat. Definitely check that out. We have a ton of good and useful links in there. We have the link to our Discord, we have the link to our YouTube channel, we have the link to our Facebook group, we have the link to other Twitch channels which we have rated in the past. Really kind of that is the big hub of everything that is the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. Sorry, I'm just kind of like getting all situated here. So, yeah, the if this is your first time joining us, what we do is we do a bi-weekly campaign session, and in alternate weeks we do what we call a chat session, and in these chat sessions we do a number of things. We talk about recapping former sessions or previous sessions. We kind of do a lot of lore dropping, reminiscing, a lot of flushing out of functions that we don't really have time to talk about during the campaign. We and sometimes, if you tuned in last week, the majority of our sessions are really just venting. Um, so our chat sessions are more meant for a more informal setting where we kind of have kind of like a loose agenda of things to talk about, and but really nothing is kind of off the table. So yeah, if you enjoy these campaign sessions, um, keep in mind that they are biweekly, but the chat sessions that we do on the alternate weeks can be just as fun and really good to keep up on. So last session, our heroes were in Kakariko Village, and ever since the first episode, since episode 1, there has been this this kind of rift in town that there really haven't there really hasn't been any explanation on. But in the previous session, we went a little bit deeper as to like what maybe was the cause of it. Was there anything in it? Why is nobody in town really paying attention to it? Um, So we learned a couple things, and it seemed that everything that we learned only added more confusions and questions to what was down in the hole. Um, yeah. So that is where we're going to pick up, because at the end of the very last session, as our heroes were in kind of like doing their thing to investigate what was going on, for the first time ever in the village, two very loud booms kind of came forth and kind of rocked the residents a little bit, and the in the last moments, one of the Kokiri in Kakariko Village kind of turned to the party and um, accused them of doing something to agitate the chasm. So let me introduce the party and we'll get to it. All right. Oh, there we. I'm gonna try to get the cameras working. I think they were. Was that? Are they okay? They're a little blinky, but okay. So going from left to right, we have Gully. How you doing, Gully?
Good, good, good. Looking forward to another eventful session as always. Hopefully, everyone has had a good week and, well, good last week and is ready to go.
Definitely, definitely. Um, any thoughts on the chasm?
Ah, I think the chasm is just, just a little pebble in the way. Just need to kick it out of the way. Go ahead and take care of it. Get it done and over with.
All right, all right, all right. Well, welcome. Good to have you as always. Next to Gully, we have Deacon. How you doing, Deacon?
Me doing okay today. Had a nice, calm, sleepy day. Relaxing, so that's very nice. Very pleasant day, all in all. And yeah, looking forward to a much more eventful day now that we get to investigate something like this. I will describe it as this.
As this, yes. And also I will say that multiple times or frequently enough I've mentioned that after sessions we tend to have a little bit of conversation off camera afterwards, and if I kind of drop something on the players periodically, I'll kind of like elaborate so they're just more caught up to speed on what's what, and I have not told anybody anything about this.
We just
So
don't know.
yeah, completely in the dark. So Deacon, welcome. Next we have Lito. How you doing, Lito?
Doing okay. Started school, pulling my hair out, normal stuff.
Of
Um, kind of have a couple of different ideas what could be down there. Which one I really don't want, one I really do want. That'd be awesome.
Would you like to share any of those thoughts, or do you want to keep us in suspense?
Worst case scenario, I think it might be one of the dragons. Best case scenario, it's the ultimate super deluxe golden cuckoo that I've wanted to find forever.
Those are very good guesses, and by no means are they possibilities off the table. Um, Two things that canonically exist in Legend of Zelda that people tend to forget sometimes are dragons and UFOs. So, yeah, it was just that one little, blip in the game in Lon Lon Ranch and Ocarina of Time, little thing with some flying saucers. But yeah, dragons and UFOs exist in Legend of Zelda.
Oh,
Majora's
I have
Mask
one other
too.
idea.
that I think it's Marin can get abducted by aliens. Even it's like terrifying.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess that pretty much anything is on the table, but those are two very good guesses. So Lido, welcome. A pleasure to have you as always, and of course, always rounding out at the end, we have Afine. How you doing, Afine?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Wonderful. Any guesses on what's in the chasm?
Something that could still probably kill us all in one hit, but whatever it is, it's in pain and Ifine can't help but feel sorry for.
Yes, Afine being probably the most empathetic out of the entire group, definitely feeling for the pain, as has been narrated that whatever is down there has suffered was on the losing end of a tremendously intense battle. Um, Things that we do know about it um, from that bit of exposition is that it is heavily bruised and battered. Um, I believe I used the term severed limbs, and it also is attempting to heal itself as the energy on top of the chasm is um, simultaneously trying to prevent that healing and keep it down there. Uh, so yeah, that is the all the information that we have. Uh, and of course, Afine, a welcome pleasure to have you here, as with everybody. So, going through the events of the day, I would say that between the visiting of the shops and the time spent conversing with Flora and the time spent investigating this chasm, we are looking at kind of like later afternoon. We're nowhere near necessarily any type of long rest, but the I would say we probably have about 4 to 5 hours of sunlight left in the day. And as the Kokiri and the Deku and any other inhabitants of Kakariko Village all kind of turn to the four of you surrounding the chasm with a mixture of surprise, possibly some anger, uh, definitely a fair amount of accusatory looks coming your way. Um, what would you guys like to do?
Whoa. Trust me, not our fault. It's just have something for lunch. That's what you guys heard.
Uh, Give me deception on that.
12.
12. I would not say that a lie of that magnitude would be very convincing on that. Um, in fact, it it doesn't even help to ease the tension.
I say, I chime in. We promise we not do anything. Um, Trust us. It fairly visible that if we got close enough to even do anything, we wouldn't have hands anymore. I like hold my hands up as if to show that they still exist. Of course, I've kept my minimum safe distance of 10 feet away from this thing.
You can see mine. I'm damaged.
Ha! Fuck.
All right. I would say a small mob starts forming. Let's call it. There's a small group of 6 people that have started to kind of congregate, and they don't look very happy.
Hmm. Hmm. Perhaps it's time we vacate the premises?
Seems like a good idea.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm all for that. If he says standing up and trying not to look like a guilty child.
People of Kakariko, we are
Mhm.
going to leave now. Just so that way you know, we're not afraid of you. We're just going to leave and come back when we have a better idea of what to do to fix this. So, have a nice day.
Are we on opposite sides of the chasm, or like how I know we're all like separate feet away, but like
Yeah, to my knowledge, to my recollection, like you had all taken like a north, south, west,
mm,
and east kind of like stance around the chasm.
mm.
I mean,
I
the
definitely can't teleport us out of here.
well, the chasm itself is not like overly huge. It's from like a north to south direction. It's definitely longer than it is wider, but
Mhm.
by no means is it a difficult thing to traverse around. Off the top
Gotcha,
of my head,
gotcha.
yeah, from I would say it's maybe like 10 feet wide, and
Mhm.
lengthwise it's maybe 40 feet.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I expected this to be like literally the size of the town.
No, I mean it definitely has a noticeable like appearance to it. It's something that people would notice, if they were not native to the town, and the light emanating off of it, you know during the nighttime might make it seem a bit bigger than it is. But no, it's kind of almost looks like a a healing wound.
Mm, mm, hmm, hmm. Yeah, I'm
So,
gonna go
we're
for
going to
the
start.
old hold my hands up, back away slowly type of thing.
We're just going to walk out of town if that's okay. And I'm going to start walking in towards the exit to town.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Everybody give me a D4.
1, 2, 3.
Where'd
I'm
it
going to get a
go? Where'd
4.
it
Then we'll
go?
have all numbers.
It's like, where'd it go? Okay, D4.
Okay, so the mob's grown to about 14 at this point. Um, and they're not aggressing, but starting to press on you. Um, and as you like start to make your way towards the entrance, and you're at a point where you probably um, could outrun them, especially given the fact that most of you have a better movement than the uh, than the regular inhabitants of the town. As you start leaving, you can hear one unfamiliar voice from the ever-growing mob, screaming to grab them and feed them to the chasm. Just one voice goes, "Feed him to the chasm!"
Can we see who it is?
Give me a perception at disadvantage as you're trying to run away.
25.
Oh,
That's a disadvantage, by the way.
Huh?
I'm very good
Excellent.
with being perceptive. I can see them.
All right. Um, it is a
Don't do this to me, Puck. This isn't Rufio, is it?
okay. So what I'm narrating this is getting, in terms of Deacon, I would say like in order for you to like move that you don't have time to kind of get ahead of the group so you can't look back.
Mhm.
But it is a pale-skinned Kakariko in very kind of like beaten down, worn out green Kokiri garb. Um, Pale skin, black hair.
Rico? Question mark? Hmm. I don't even have time to like. Yeah, no, I don't have time to think about it because my movement speed is only 25 feet, so I basically have to focus on hopping aboard Chimkin. So this is
Yep,
just a mystery to me.
yep. Um,
Hmm.
Lido, any questions you would like to ask me to elaborate on about the physical appearance of the person?
Well, I've never met him, so I don't know anything really about him.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll say, given a 25, if you had recognized this Kokiri, I would flat out tell you who it was because you would recognize them. So what
Okay.
you are seeing is simply their physical makeup, and anything else that you would like me to elaborate on about their physical being, I'm happy to elaborate on.
So black hair, pale skin, drabbish clothes.
Yeah,
Are they like equipped with any like weaponry? Are they like holding anything, like trying to get people to take things from them? Are their eyes actually there type things I'm looking for?
they do have eyes. Um,
Okay.
they're holding what appears to be excuse me, some type of like farming tool in their hand, almost like a smaller version of like a pitchfork. Um, they have hands. Um,
Thank God. That rolls out Rico. No, it's a joke, sorry.
They have any weird like tattoos or any markings on them?
they do seem pretty like okay, so physically, like their clothing is almost appears torn as if if they had been like raked through a briar patch, and any physical things like, for example, on the hands, you'll see that there are small kind of red markings that would be along with that, um, that they had been like torn through their skin and clothing have been pretty tore up.
And they're fully there. I can't see through them. They don't look like they're just
They're
kind
fully
of
physical
standing
now.
there.
Yeah.
It's not like the Saria thing where I saw her and then she disappeared type of motif.
when you saw Saria, you saw her to be physically there.
Okay. About how many feet away from us are they? Just out of curiosity.
Um, you know what? Give me. Do you want to be like at the exit to the village or largely approaching the exit to the village?
I want to be as far away from them as possible, to be honest with you. But
Okay.
like, considering my speed, I'm just sorry about that. Considering my speed, Jesus, about what like I was just curious what kind of distance they'd be pulling from us.
Okay. So here's how I'll word it. While at the point that Lito's looking about, you are not a huge bit of distance from this crowd. I would say from like the crowd itself is, I think I said 16 people. So at that point you might be like 40 feet from them. But
Okay.
by the time you get to the exit, I would say that you guys could be about 80 feet away. But at this point, we're kind of at like the 40-foot mark, approaching the exit.
Gotcha.
And
Okay,
we
sorry,
we
I
will
understood.
happily like readdress. We'll give everything another shot when we get to the exit of the village. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. That's fair. I'm sorry. I just had to like, I'm just mental picturing this.
Yeah, got you. All right. So at this marker, um, anything else that
I'm gonna
Lito's
do
going to
something
kind of?
dumb.
Please don't.
I have to. I want to make sure that this is actually a physical person. So just with I will say, stay back. I'm gonna make sure of it, and I'm just gonna cast Gust of Wind, and it's just gonna blow 60 feet directly towards this person. I want to
Okay.
make sure that everything about them move, their clothing, their everything, so it's not just like, oh, all of a sudden they're standing there and nothing has changed and the wind is blowing past them.
All right.
Like
So
it's trying to hide something.
they are. This particular person is at like the back end of the group.
60 feet from me.
Yeah.
So
So
how
so
far away are they?
what so you're at 40, so they're about like the gust will hit them,
Okay.
definitely.
And
So what you're seeing of them physically is like you're seeing from like the chest up, and you see, trying to get like backward, like the one hand kind of like raised up in the air with the little mini pitchfork is what you're seeing. Okay.
that's fine.
um the gust of wind hits, and as it does, the person's physical body, kind of as the wind carries it, it very subtly just like breaks into these flower-like petals as it um kind of deconstructs and gets blown away by the gust.
Sure,
I'm
I'm
gonna
glad
leave
I
now.
can't see that.
I'm gonna leave now. I'm just gonna leave now. Bye.
Um, okay. I just realized I can do something. Is it okay if I do something?
Okay. I'm going to say like at the next juncture. So
Okay,
like,
that's fine.
but by the time you get to like the exit to the village, your party has kind of like put enough safe distance between the growing mob and your party.
Okay.
And so at this point,
Well,
anybody who wants to commit to a singular action while maintaining a safe distance from the group, from the mob.
well, what was gonna happen was I was gonna cast another spell at them while we were still kind of within range.
Uh-huh.
I understand if I can't do that, but I'm just checking.
What's the range?
Oh, 60 feet.
60 feet. Okay. So in intending, that
Yes.
would give you enough time to like get to like 80 feet in front of them and turn around prep the spell. So my question is, since Deacon's waiting for, excuse me, another 20 feet, does
Mhm.
anybody have anything that they want to do chronologically prior to that? Okay.
Do
Uh,
sorry.
All right, what's up? What do you got?
Do I see anything weird in the crowd since I still have See Invisible working?
I'm sorry?
I should still have See Invisible working, so do I see anything weird in the crowd?
At this point, now.
Awesome.
All right. Deacon, you are up.
Okay, so I'm going to just like before I book it out the exit, I'm going to subtle spell with one of my sorcery points. And I'm going to say, please calm down and go home so you can forget about all of this. Or sorry, please calm down and go home to forget all of this that just happened. Okay? And I'm casting mass suggestion on 12 of them.
12. So 12 out of the 16 of them.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And remind me, is there a save on that?
18.
18.
Wisdom save.
All right. So get my dice out. Yep. I'm going to give these guys a... give them a -2.
All of the wisdom of an angry mob. I appreciate it. Thank you.
3,
Ooh.
4. Okay.
Fails all around.
Wow. All
Love a
right.
0 though.
Excellent.
A
Yeah.
0 is amazing.
So
Excellent.
give it a quick look. I'm not seeing any successes, am I? No.
Mm-mm.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank God. So yeah, 12 of them are gonna calm down, go home, and forget about all this.
All right. So, okay. So it was actually okay. So it was a 16, and then it was the one that dissipated, which brought it down to 15. And then from that 15, 12 of them leaving only 3. So I'm picturing like the 3 closest are like the most riled up,
Mm-hmm.
and and as they start like approaching, they notice that the sound behind them has just kind of like dissipated, and they start to slow down and look behind them. This one Deku and these 2 Kokiri in front of you and Gully and Lido and Afine, and they just kind of slowly put their tools down on the ground and turn back and walk away.
All right. Turnabout is in fact fair play. Um now, let's still avoid incident and maybe find a different place to stay for the night. But at least we they will continue to basically calm down and stay in their house for the next 24 hours or until they suitably forget about what has happened here.
Right. So that sounds like a valid plan. Um, but you find yourself at the entranceway.
So,
to the
two
Lost
quick questions
Woods.
for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
One, do we take their stuff
Mm,
or leave it?
Leave it, man. Leave
Okay.
it.
Well,
Le-
second question: did you guys see that person?
What
no.
Yeah,
person?
the one that the little Kakariko, really shabby clothes, red hand, well, really pale skin with red like marks on it, long black hair, kind of scary looking. He had a little pitchfork, but really tiny. And
Hmm.
when I used my little gust, he kind of turned into smoke. Well, petals.
Hmm.
22. Maybe I saw it.
What was that?
I don't know, pup. 22. Did I see him? I
Yeah,
was kind of far off, and I wasn't really paying attention. So,
you know what? Though that's a. I'll say you saw it.
oh yeah, yeah, that little weird. Yeah, I think I caught a glimpse of that, Lito. Yeah. Who was that?
Yeah, I don't
Someone you
know.
know?
Oh,
Hmm. Okay. I mean, I know you lie. You know a lot of people. Just curious.
not as many as Deacon does, but still, they were like there, and then I kind of blew them away.
How did you blow him away?
Well, I can't
You
do it
just
again until like tomorrow. I kind of went and it blew wind at them, and it kind of blew them away. So I
Um.
was just wondering, should we walk over to where like they were and see if there was any like residue left? Maybe we can find like a petal or something and be like, oh yes, they were a rose or something like that.
okay.
Deacon chimes in. That's not a bad idea. Also, Lito, you blow me away constantly. Hee hee
You're welcome.
hee. Hee. Thank you.
Also, I can't do it today, but if you can you like do any like magic detection, like where we it might have been? Maybe it was like a shadow or something evil, and was like a cast a spell there, and we'll be able to be like, oh, right there, and then we'll point it in that direction, and there'll be a
Oh.
guy who's hiding in the shadows, going, "Oh no, they found me!"
um,
Yeah.
I can
See.
do identify if we find out where it is, but I don't have any detect magics. Sorry for talking over you, Fiend.
No, it's right. Yeah, I can do that pretty easily.
Okay, so follow me on the other side of the chasm. So just of course walk away, and like 6 feet out, and we'll go there, and then we'll kind of examine the spot. By the way, does anybody have light? Because it's going to be very dark shortly, and I can't see in the dark.
Yeah, I've got. I could hook us up with some light.
It's going to be the sword. It'll be awesome if it's a sword.
I mean, it could be the sword if you want it to be the sword, but I was thinking more along the lines of dancing lights.
Ooh,
I didn't know you could do
Ooh.
that.
I can now. I've been playing around with a
pretty.
lot of things.
That really
Can we
cool,
have
Gully.
both? Fire
Can
sword
we have
and dancing
both?
lights?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't do both. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
okay.
could help you with the glowing sword.
Well, if you want to tap the sword and I'll throw out some dancing lights, then we can have both, Lido.
I like that idea.
Sweet.
Yay!
Onward!
Okay, so did I just hear you correctly that you're going back to the chasm?
We're going back to where I saw the person
Okay, so
around.
I'll to be more specific, that's roughly 100 feet from the entrance.
That's fine.
Okay. Closer to 140, but whatever. Okay. So what are you looking for?
Those that are left over having a fiend check to see if there's any magic, if there's discoloration like in the grass where it was standing, or any kind of like oddities.
Okay. I'm going to need a nature check specifically from Leto and Deacon.
Oh, can I give him an inspiration?
Yeah.
Since we like know that we're searching for this? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What good is your nature, by the way?
3.
Okay, then
I
I will
mean
also
0.
guide
It is
myself
0.
if you allow me.
Okay. Absolutely. Like this is not a time pressing issue. It is something you would have ample time to prepare yourself for. Guidance and inspiration on Leto.
It's a 3.
I got a
Well,
19.
should I use the inspiration for a 23?
Well, it goes away in 10 minutes, so yes.
Okay, then I will use the 12.
Beautiful.
So 25.
All right, so 25 and a 19. All right, both very good rolls. Okay, so the reason that I had you two specifically make this check is because we're going way back to episode 1 for this reference. And
Sorry is wildflowers. Why is Sorry
Our,
being a bitch this time?
yes,
our
that's a
episode 1 or actual episode 1?
Cataclysm of Hyrule episode 1.
Okay, just making sure.
Specifically when Leto had left the Great Deku Tree and also spotted by Deacon when he afterwards left the Great Deku Tree. The spot where Saria was spotted, there was a very specific growth of flowers. And although in the hectic moment where you were casting Gust of Wind, you weren't able to make the association. When you came back, you see another growth of flowers that is especially with a 19 and a 25, you recognize that these are the exact same flowers that were where Saria was standing, where you last conversed with her.
I take out the dried wildflowers that I picked when Saria left us, just for absolute comparison.
Undoubtedly, same exact
Excellent.
flowers. And then these are not wildflowers that you have seen anywhere in Kakariko Village or the Lost Woods before.
Can I cast Identify on the flowers that remain there? We using a spell slot?
Mhm.
Okay, I have to use a second level spell slot, so I want to see if there are any magical enchantments or anything of the sort affecting it right now.
There are.
And if the item is created by a spell, I learn which spell created it.
So there is a I want to say like a faint residual magical effect to it, but you determine that it is not a magical effect per se, but given the fact that you're spellcasting, give me a DC 12 Arcana for me to elaborate on it, as to
Okay,
how it's like non-magical in its respect.
sounds good. 2. Never mind. E. Yup, definitely flowers. Definitely Saria.
Definitely flowers, definitely Saria. Um, not specifically magic in the respect that common magic is used in this world.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna collect some real quick so that way I have an idea to do with these. I'm just gonna collect some special Saria flowers, I'll call them.
Okay. All right. What would you like to do next?
So
Sorry.
Fiend, did you want to check to see if there's any other magical like things going on?
See, about that, at one point I did have that spell, and I forgot I got rid of it, and my dyslexia is really kicking in today.
No
I
worries.
sorry,
All
read
good.
the spell as. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Perfectly fine.
So, trying to think what we can do. So we have the flowers.
Would Gully be able to do a search of the area to see which direction or where this little creature may have blown away to?
Yeah. Can you explain the nature of the search a little bit more to me? Because there's a number of ways I could answer this.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, he's first going to start with the basics of, looking around the ground, investigating, survival, whatever, to see if, sees any indentions or any trails of anything that could have been left behind by the thing, or consequently, if he sees any steps, drag marks, or anything that might indicate a direction that it went to.
Okay. Um, you have a decent passive, right? It's like 15?
Yeah, it's 18, yeah.
Oh, okay, even better. Okay. So yeah, kind of like just observing the general area, looking for any type of um, outward physical indicator about the the petals blowing. Um, you do find a small number of petals kind of that appear that they seem to be blown in kind of like an eastward direction, but knowing that you were heading westward when you were vacating the village and Leto cast the spell in an eastward direction, that doesn't really seem to um, kind of indicate anything more about anything outside of the gust of wind action. So there's the growth of flowers where it's now believed that the person stood, and they had it's a specific growth of flowers that's only been spotted once before, and that was um, when Saria, the first and I believe last time in this campaign that Saria has appeared,
Mhm.
and from that growth of flowers, there's petals blown in an eastward direction.
Okay.
So,
So,
okay, I have I have a really bizarre question that I just have to ask at this point.
Okay.
So, since everyone is every version of everyone squished together,
Uh-huh.
does that not mean that I could successfully cast sending on any person I've ever met and reach this version of them? Because they are themselves the version that I met in some form, thus making them a valid target for my sending spell.
That okay. So that type of mechanic, what you're kind of talking of is one you would need to know to which specific target you're speaking to. And
Hmm.
two, since it's not the since it's not the most outward personality, it mechanically you're technically
Gotcha.
crossing planes. So
Okay, I
what I'm kind
understand.
of going to equate this to, because I remember that we tried this once before a while back, was when you were trying to find Link through Guru Guru, and you
Yeah,
ended up
yeah,
talking
exactly.
to, yeah, okay. So,
Yeah.
so what had happened is it's for everyone else because um yeah, this is going back a long time. Um,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
yeah, what had happened was in Deacon's campaign, Guru had died in the assault in Kakariko Village, much like it had happened in Lito's and Gully's campaign. So in the core campaign, prior to the Cataclysm, Guru had died, and um, Link was a very different character in that campaign, but they were trying to figure out where he was so they could rescue him. And so when Deacon contacted Guru, he inadvertently had contacted the Guru from the Majora's Mask video game, and Link was there, and there was no problem, and it created a small bit of confusion for everyone until Deacon figured out who he was actually talking to. So in that type of situation, like that mechanic very similarly applies where in one it's it's not as simple as Deacon going, I want to talk to myself, because um there's a lot of different yous in there. So you would have to know, like, in order to do that, you would technically need to um regard the different yous as different entities, not as yourself, and then be able to like pick a specific one and hope that whatever happened in that one's universe is the answer that you're looking for.
okay.
And even then, it's technically sending across planes of existence because they're simply not this on like this level of consciousness. So technically, like as a just general ruling, not on this plane of existence. Um, not impossible, very difficult to do.
So let me try this.
All right.
I just wanna try something, okay?
Okay.
So I want to cast this. I want to cast the sending spell on Saria. So, so will you allow me to try? I guess that's where it really comes in.
Okay. So my question is, um, or my assumption, and correct me if I'm wrong in this assumption, that you're attempting to connect with the Saria on this plane of existence.
Honestly, I would be happy to connect with the Saria that I know and like connect to her across the planes and like roll the d20 and take the risk because I have an idea.
Okay. You know,
I
just
don't know if
yeah.
I'm making I don't know if I'm choosing the right NPC to enact this idea upon, I'll put it that way. But I have an idea.
I'm like rapidly like reconnecting myself with like your sorry your timeline Saria, but yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So, I'm going to use sending. Okay, I have to roll the d20.
Mhm.
I got a 15. Uh, okay. So, 25 very interesting words. Saria, I know you're in there. You know you're in there. Please try to come to the surface. I need your help. It's for Rico. 25 words.
Okay.
Do I get any response? That's my question.
Yes. The response is hi, Deacon. Don't know what you mean. Everything's great here. Wish you were here.
Okay.
Everyone says hi.
That's fun. Okay. That answers more questions than I think you realize it answers. I'm happy with that. Okay.
Yes, by not answering things, it answers many things.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Marking off my spell slot. 1 sec. All right. Well, that was my idea.
So, I kind of think we should go someplace nearby. I was thinking maybe go back to like Castle Town, go back to Cedo, spend the night there, because I want to do some scrying to see if I can find some people,
Okay.
and that way we're also, if we need to get anything while in town, whatnot, like check on things that are going on.
Okay. Let me see.
I just need a patch of grass. It can
Okay.
take us straight there. At least outside.
Oh, okay. That works.
So I will look for a tree. I find a tree that's big enough for me to walk through. I will cast travel via plants and go back to Cedos.
Okay. So the nearest biggest tree is probably at like the entranceway between Kakariko Village and the Lost Woods. Which is probably also good because venturing back into Kakariko at a moment might not be the best thing, given the fact that out of the entire village, there's only 12 of them that don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I was waiting to see if that was going to happen. So
No.
it did not happen. All right. So we are porting back to Kakariko. I'm sorry, not Kakariko. Yeah. To, yes. Let's see. So let's put us back in Hyrule Castle Town.
Wait, you.
All right. Hyrule Castle Town, back at Cedos. It's been a while.
Yeah. So we'll come out of like the side of the building because I don't have anything set up inside yet.
Mhm.
All right, let's go inside. I think everybody should be gone for the day. If not, that'll be weird. But whatever.
Yeah, I would say at this point, in closing, like the close is shopped. The shop is closed for the day. Um, and oh geez, it's been that long. What were their names?
Isaac and
Yeah.
oh crap, what is her name? Give me a second. I can find out real quick.
Cleo?
Cleo, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Isaac
Thank you.
and
Oh,
Cleo.
nice.
Thank you. Isaac and Cleo are just kind of like wrapping up.
Cleo.
Cleo's kind of like counting out, the money and, wrapping up and, like sweeping up the store. And Isaac is, taking
Evening,
inventory
everybody.
of his stuff. And you just kind of like, like Emperor's New Groove, just like kick the door open, boom, baby, that whole bit.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not that bad. It's my door. I'm not gonna break it.
I'll break it.
It's more like the arm open. We're back. Jingle, 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 jingle. My bad.
Yeah, they do. Cleo's a little bit more startled than Isaac as he barely looks up from his accounting of inventory, and like, oh, uh, welcome back. It's been a minute. How you been?
Okay. And I figure out things about the world. Normal stuff. How are you guys?
We're good. I mean, you can see that Isaac is being Isaac, and I've been doing everything else. So yeah, everything is good.
So we're gonna go upstairs. You guys finish up for the night. Have a good night. If you need anything, let me know before you leave. Otherwise, see you probably tomorrow morning.
Nice seeing
Yes.
you guys.
'Cause, 1,000,000 rupees? Mm,
I can work on that. They have to be real. What?
uh,
I'll figure that out.
it's okay. Well, I'll be done in about 5 minutes, and I'll make sure I take Isaac with me when I go.
Okay.
You can see like the the area of the floor where Isaac is standing checking his inventory has started to just like degrade down from him spending just so much time in that specific area. Um, you
Yourself fix with mending.
it repairs. But you get the impression between noticing the floor um and Cleo's comment that there may or may not have been a number of nights that Isaac just kind of like lost track of time in his work and may have not left for the day.
Okay.
Oh, what a good man. He's worked so hard for us.
Yeah, doesn't even look up. So all right, so you go to the upper resting area of
um,
yes.
I whisper to Leto and ask if he has plans for tomorrow. If he's gonna want to leave tomorrow. Or if we have a spare day. Because I have an idea for something I've wanted to try, but it's gonna tap me out of all of my good spells, which will be a massive hindrance if we're doing anything that day.
I'll let you know after I do some scrying.
Okay, cool. That works.
Um, so I'll let you guys know. Gonna take me like 20 or so minutes. So Ellie, I know you like to go eat, and it's a perfect place. You can either have soup or go back to the tavern and get like buffet. I think they still do. Not that late.
If the buffet is available, yeah, I'm definitely gonna go to the buffet. Thanks for the suggestion.
Because I know it'll be boring for me just to go do green red green for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it being a tavern, it is open till the wee hours of the night, and I know that there have been a number of times that Gully has not worried about his about getting a necessary amount of sleep because he has a very strong constitution. So we will definitely role play that out as we get to it. So Gully,
Fiend, if you need something from the store, just let me know. I can probably mark it off, whatever like that. And Deacon, you're welcome to grow roots or go eat.
Aw, thank you. I kind of want to have. I want to play around in here a little bit. I have a couple of ideas, if that's okay.
Okay. Just so that way all three of you know. Haven't actually told you this, but I have a kind of a little secret area that I'm working on. And I will walk over. There is a spot that's by the counter between Isaac's room and the counter. There is a little, it looks like it was cut out of the floor, but it's a little doorway that has a hatch that pops up.
Cool.
And if you actually get down in there, it's basically like a cellar that literally has nothing inside of it yet because I haven't done anything with it yet. But there is now a little hatch that I keep throwing moss over so that way it looks like it's still part of the floor.
That's cool. Very nice, Ludo. Very nice.
It's ideas so that way if I can start growing something on the wall in there, then we can come in through there instead of up top.
If you want to plant some seeds or something in here, I would happily spend my tomorrow doing the plant growth spell for 8 hours.
Again, we'll see. So
Okay, take your time.
Me and
Um,
Deacon have something. Gully, you have something. Afine, going with
I can
Gully,
find
staying with
something.
us. Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that, feed?
Sorry, I can find something.
Okay, you gotta
Also,
find.
there's the pond. You can swim around in the pond. It's actually kind of deep since you know how tall I am. I can kind of stretch out.
Ooh. Actually,
I
my
kind of
plan
have
has
it a little.
changed.
I have it a little aerated too, so that way it's kind of like not just stagnant water. It does have some kind of like whoosh to it.
It's like a jacuzzi, but
There's
without
a
the
tree in the
heat.
middle. Exactly.
Neat.
I like to take care of myself
Uh,
and break. I'll go upstairs.
okay, so we got okay, so I have a general idea of which one's going to the order. Okay, so Deacon, what are you doing first?
okay, how many hours of daylight do we have left before I have to start making Constitution saves?
Well, of daylight, I would say we have about an hour left of daylight, but we have I want to say 4 hours before we start making con saves.
Okay, okay. So, um, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Um, I am still trying to plan something out. Um, hey, Ifine,
Yes.
do you mind if I borrow my ring back for a little bit? I have a very important idea that I think will liven up this town a little bit, but I need to borrow a spell from Leto to do that.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm so sorry. I forgot I was wearing it.
No, it's
Um,
okay. To be honest, you're welcome to it if you would like it after this, but I just have this one thing I want to do. Um, and so I want to spend my thanks, Sophine. I'm sorry. Thank you. Um, so I want to spend my next hour attuning to the ring.
Not a problem.
Um, I'd like to ask Leto to cast Pass Without a Trace into it, if you would not mind.
Right, just like once or like twice.
Just once.
Eh.
Okay.
Done.
Thank you. Um, I'm going to take a small piece of let's see. I'm just gonna take like a pillow from one of the beds here. Um and then yeah, I'm just gonna like put that in my pack. Um so I'm going to cast how long does Pass Without a Trace last? Let me
Hour?
Pass Without.
That's a while.
Okay. Yeah, it's an hour. Okay, perfect. Um so yeah, I am going to ask Leto for a guidance real quick.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. This is going to be worth it. Maybe. It might be worth it. It's probably not going to be worth it to anyone but me. Um so I am going to attempt to sneak. Um and I well, let's see. Yeah. I want to first step. I want to climb on top of Chimkin, and I'm going to cast greater invisibility on myself, which will also target her.
Uh,
Um and then okay, so we're burning this spell slot. And then I'm going to use her just to get over the wall before I have her return to the roof of Cedos as if nothing was happening.
okay.
The wall to like the rich part of town.
Okay.
And then I am going to basically just cast again on myself, Pass Without a Trace, and I'm going to stealth. So Lee, let me roll a stealth check for this.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do I get any benefit because it's nighttime? Because I'm like it's lightly obscured and all that, like advantage or something? Because it's the dim light. Just checking.
You know what? If you want to stay like at least 10 feet from any building, I'll give you +3.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. So, all right. So that's +10 plus 13. So I have a 42 on my stealth check.
Okay.
Um, so I'm going to sneak my way to the center of town. And I am going to like the center of the rich people town.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to use my legendary spell duplication, my magical secret bard thing. The special one, that we talked about.
Mhm.
I'm going to cast the bard spell in one action. I will cast Mirage Arcane. And what Mirage Arcane does is you make terrain in an area up to 1 mile square look, sound, smell, and even feel like another sort of terrain. This a pond can be made to seem like a grassy meadow, a precipice like a gentle slope, or a rock-strewn gully like a wide and smooth road. Similarly, you can alter it includes audible, visual, tactile, and olfactory elements, so it can turn clear ground into difficult terrain or vice versa and otherwise impede movement through the area. A piece of terrain that is removed from the area disappears immediately. Um so uh this takes place over one action as I cast my spell duplication.
Mhm.
And essentially, since it contains all of these elements, what happens is essentially, um, for example, as like considered on like Sage Advice, confirmed by Jeremy Crawford and all the rules artists, you could climb an illusory tree that's created by this spell. It is so real, right? So what I do is I go to the center of town in the rich, posh, up people's part of town, which is about 2 miles, a mile square, roughly, something like that. And anyway,
Well,
from the center of town,
the
I
spell
don't.
is up to a mile, so which means you can
Yes,
limit the distance.
perfect. Well, yeah. So I want it to be just the rich people's part of town as much as possible
Mhm.
within this square mile that I'm in. And I'm going to cast this spell, and I am going to make. Oh, and it lasts for 10 days.
Mhm.
I'm going to, now that I am completely hidden, I'm going to just make their entire space smell like slightly to moderately of fart. And then I'm going to teleport back to Cetos.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I wanted to do.
Um, do you
It
return?
lasts for 10 days. They are stink bombed.
Oh, man.
It is now going to be just slightly unpleasant to live there for the next 10 days.
All right. Doing that successfully, do you now return the ring to a fiend? And if so, do you return it with anything inside of it?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Um, I asked her if I could cast a couple of spells into it if she'd like. But aside from that, yeah, if you want like I have like identify and like mirror image and stuff if there's any kind of spell that you'd want. But yeah, no, yeah, I hand a fiend back the ring.
Okay.
It's alright. It's your ring. You should really keep it.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, yeah, and I tell nobody that I've done this incidentally. So
Sounds good. Um, okay. Fiend, with your 4 hours, is there anything that you would like to do?
For the first hour of sunlight we have left, I'd actually just like to wander around the town.
Okay. Um, Wandering around the town. Uh, About an hour of sunlight left. there is. Let's see. Let me kind of like switch everything back to Hyrule Castle Town. I mean, you get like a nice kind of feeling as you go through town. You can see, some children running around playing games. People kind of um, window shopping in the jewelry district. You can hear around the inn that the drinking crowd is starting to come in for the day. Uh, is there anything specific that you're looking for?
Honestly, not really.
Okay,
Everything's
just
just
kind of taking in
taking
the
the time to
vibes.
explore a new place.
Gotcha. Have you been to Hyrule Castle Town before?
Yes, but I've never had a chance to wander around it before.
Okay. All right. So yeah, like you see some nice shops. It's kind of like good to kind of just get out and about. The even as the sun comes down, it's a full moon that night and during the night, so the town between um I would imagine that there's some oil lamps kind of scattered about, and the moonlight still gives a fairly good illumination. Um, how many hours would you like to walk around for?
Only about an hour and a half.
About an hour? Okay. So, trying to think if anything interesting is happening around that time. Yeah. Once the sun kind of comes down, you notice that there's like a guard shift change happening. Um, you on the way back to Cito's, you notice that Cleo's like literally pulling Isaac out of the store as he starts talking about um, discovering new potion recipes, and he's not finished with his inventorying, and there's work to be done, and she keeps retorting with, nope, we need to, you know, give them their space, and you've spent too much time in here already. And finally, she's like, and I'll buy you a drink. Come on. And then they start heading across town, heading towards the inn, which I'd imagine Gully is already there at that point. Okay, so the nightlife is definitely
You know
starting
it.
to kick up towards the end of that hour and a half. So, um, 2.5 hours remaining. Anything of interest, or just settle in?
Uh, Settle in, hide out in Lido's pond, and maybe start on some needlework.
Right. Sounds good. So you kind of like break out the your newly purchased kit, and what's the first thing that comes to mind that you want to work on? Is it like an embroidery, or is it
Uh,
a cross stitching pattern, or
let's try for something simple, and I'm just gonna try and embroider a few flames around the edge of my Goron tunic.
very nice. So you break out your Goron tunic, and um, as you hold it in your hands, you feel out of most of the garments that you've kind of like handled in your time, um, this garment feels very unique in its almost like rigidness. Um, it feels thicker than most fabrics, which is probably where it gets its fire retardant behavior from. Um, but as you kind of start to pass the needle through the first time, you really get a sense of how special this kit is because it glides in and out of this very thick and hard fabric almost effortlessly. And within that,
Wow.
yeah, and within that, are you just doing like a line, or do you want to get
Um,
like really intricate, or just like frame it out?
just at the moment, just framing out a few fling patterns on
Okay.
around the neckline.
Okay. So yeah, definitely, I would say that that would, out of the 2.5 hours you have remaining, you could get that knocked out in probably two.
Perfect.
So that gives you just enough time to kind of, um, you know what? As you're doing it, where are you doing it in? Like, are you relaxing in Lito's kind of pool, Zoran pool area, or just anywhere else specific in the store?
I'm hanging out half in, half out the pool, just
Okay,
so I don't get the fabric soaking.
gotcha. Um, yeah, so it- you would give you enough time to kind of, not really rush it, really take your time to make sure that, the stitch work is, in a good pattern, that it looks nice. Then afterwards it gives you time to kind of, um, clean everything up afterwards and, um, get ready to start turning in, unless there's anything else you want to do real quick.
No, I'm going to be really boring and just head to bed after that.
All right. And I would say at some point during that embroidery, that's when Deacon also came in and tried to give you back the ring of spell storing, and you told him that he should hold on to it. Um, Leto,
Yes.
what do you got?
Okay, so before Dekun left to go do whatever he did,
Uh,
I would have pulled him aside and be like, "Dekun, got a
Mhm.
question for you.
Sure.
Do you have anything that you got from Reggie's or Reginald, I mean, or like something of his? I don't have anything since I never actually kind of went into his shop."
Oh, sure. Actually, well, it's mildly embarrassing for me to even mention this again. Deacon begins. But the this one particular amulet, Deacon like visibly sweats a little bit. I may have actually procured from Reginald's shop in the first place. And
eh,
and I whistle for Chimkin, and she peeks her head back down. I I grab the amulet of the plains off of Chimkin's neck, and I hand it to him, and I say, "We bought this from him as one of his enchanted items. Also, thank you for your help with my stealth mission. I am getting revenge for Thudbutt," he explains.
Okay. Okay, no go.
Okay.
Go.
Bye.
I got stuff to do.
Deacon wraps the poke cloak around his face and like somersaults out of the room.
Okay. Let's see how much trouble I can get myself into. Okay. So, time to scry. First person, since I now have the flowers of where person was, which are kind of identical to Saria's,
mhm.
and I know I've met Saria and talked to her, I would like to scry on Saria.
Okay.
Want the spell?
No, I'm picking
Okay.
out my choice words of narration.
Okay.
I love when I shoot myself in the foot with my words. So, and I'm not going to say which words those were, but you attempt to scry Ansaria. Your intention is to scry Ansaria, and as you look into the mirror, you see this beast. I'm going to see if I can dig up a picture of what you see and send it privately in Discord.
Okay.
So, in looking at this creature, it is surrounded by a dense forest. The other thing that you notice about the forest is on top of its heavily wooded surroundings, that there are also a number of very thick bramble patches. Um, it's dark, but given the it's not so dark as to uh, impose on vision. But one of the other things that you also notice is that I know it's around here somewhere. Is that the light of the forest does not match with the light that's outside. So given that, I'm going to ask, are there any conclusions that you're coming to?
It's most likely not the Saria that I'm looking for. But I used the spell, so I might as well see where it leads me.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to send this to you on Discord, and disregard the background imagery because the background imagery is not accurate. Um, okay. There you go.
Okay. Hey, cool.
Yes. It is
Huh.
it is it is
Yeah.
breathing very heavily. It is snarling. It appears to have um very little, if any, for lack of a better word, humanoid sensibility. And that is what you see in the mirror.
Okay. Whoa. Look at that real quick. So I have that. Cool. So little disturbed by that, but I still have one more thing I need to check out.
Mhm.
So I will finish that nice little scry. Just kind of wipe my eyes, going, I don't know what the hell I just saw, but sure. And next, I'm gonna try for Reggie. I want to know about Reginald, specifically last time I saw him that version.
Okay. scry fails.
Afraid of that. I still have time since nobody's come back yet. Do more stupidity. I'm going to take off my ring of spell storing. Remembering where I got it, I'm going to try the sword on it and see if it destroys it.
Refresh me where. I mean, I have an answer, but refresh me where you got it.
Got it from Byrova.
Okay, that's right. That's right from the
Just making
quest.
sure that.
Okay.
Yeah, just
So you
checking to
just
make
kinda,
sure
like,
she,
you kind of ever so gingerly touch the tip of the sword to the ring, and it has no effect. Although you hear a
Than that,
voice in your head says that it hungers. It needs more power.
if you're not careful, I'm just going to throw you down into the chasm, let you get.
Says I have answers.
Yeah, and you've given none, so. I put it back in the bag before it can say anything else.
Give me your choice, strength or dex, DC 12. Since you weren't holding on to it for
Save
that
or
long.
just
Um,
roll.
you know what? Give me either athletics or sleight of hand. Word it that way. To like get it off of your hand.
And natural 20, 24.
Hey,
All right. So you just kind of like yeet it down into your bag. All right.
Last thing, because if I still have time, I'm going to go downstairs into my nice little hidey hole cellar. Leave the hatch open so that way there's a little bit of light in there, and I'm going to richly cast Commune with Nature
Okay. Give me
because I want to check a few things.
a stealth check on this.
Okay. 14.
Effine, give me a perception.
Sure. When my sheet eventually opens.
Okay. So as this happens, like you wait to go downstairs, you wait to hear that that Cleo and Isaac have left. You're waiting for like that ding ding and the door shut, knowing that they have left for the night. And once it comes, you go downstairs, you open up the trapdoor, you kind of like head in down into the little hidey hole, and then you hear the doorbell go again, and you think that it's them coming back. But in fact, this is at the point that a fiend has come back into the shop. So you try to hide that you're kind of like you just instinctively try to like do something to not make your presence aware at that moment. And just as a note, Fiend, you do notice. But I mean, if there's anything you want to do, we can retcon that you're part of the conversation. But if not, we can just simply say that you notice.
I'm just going to pretend like I don't notice.
Okay. So as Athene heads upstairs to start with her needling work, Leto is largely sure that he did not that his stealth was successful. All right.
The
So
tall red man can hide.
all right. So I'm sorry. What did you say you were casting?
Commune with nature.
All right. And
You want that brought up?
you know what? I always like those like more rare spells brought up.
There's a lot to it.
So we'll post it and then like let me know what the effect you're going for.
Well, the funny thing is, this is the second time he's actually cast it, and again he forgot about it. So he'll do it and then realize, oh, it doesn't work because he's in a town. So nothing will happen. We'll just spend 11 minutes down there, basically in the dark, just talking to himself, and then nothing will happen.
All right.
And then after that, it's just I'm gonna start a little bit of growth on the walls, just kind of moss them up, kind of give it more of like a earthy smell down here, besides just like a earthen smell. It's more like plant life and whatnot. Just start.
To
I don't
give it
have
like fresher kind of aroma.
yeah, kind of like had the ground with like a algae that's kind of soft, so that way you can step on it and not be like, oh, my feet kind of hurt after a while.
Gotcha.
I'll
Sounds
just
good.
spend that time, and then once I'm done, I'll just kind of chill down there. If I fall asleep down there, I fall asleep down there. Otherwise, whatever.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So we'll leave it at that for the time being, and we'll see. Um, we'll circle back later and see where like everyone kind of ends up. All right. So Gully, you uh head right to the inn, or do you take any types of detours?
Yeah, no detours.
All right. So heading right to the inn, you get in where the nighttime crowd is starting to come in. After a while, you two notice a very stark uh, shifting of the guards. The off-duty guards kind of come in, a little bit more casually dressed. They have buttons undone. They're not wearing any type of ceremonial helmets or anything. You just kind of, I mean, you being formerly part of the guard, you recognize off-duty guards when you see them. And but even before that, when you first get in, you notice an old friend in a familiar corner of the bar. The former guard turned mercenary, Andy Belfler. He has
Uh,
what some type of parchment, possibly a adventurers guild quest or maybe a wanted poster. It looks a little bit tattered, and on the other hand, he has like a stein of beer, and you're not in the inn for very long before he notices your presence and makes a welcoming gesture towards you. Do you join him?
yeah.
All right. It's just this is well met, brother. How have you been?
Good, and you?
Good, good. Keeping busy. Keeping busy. Feeling a lot better than the last time we saw each other.
This is good. This is good. So, what? Tell me, what's been going on? You feeling better? So tell me, what's happened since the last time I last saw you in now?
Well, I mean, uh, and at this point, like his speech is like a little bit slurred, which kind of notes a fair amount of inebriation. He goes, "Well, I hurt myself a while back, and you know, I feel better now. You know, I I'm feeling like I was 10 years younger. So I've been picking up some better paying jobs, and it's been
Okay.
treating me
Okay.
well.
Now
Yeah.
you're feeling younger. What's your secret?
Ah, he leans over. He's like, magic.
That'll do it
Yeah.
for sure.
Uh,
Hey, as long as as long as you don't get addicted, because magic can have a very addicting effect on people, and don't take it overboard. Just use what you need. It is a tool, just like any other, but just don't go overboard with it. Okay?
Absolutely. Um, it's not something I do a lot, and I mean, you know me. I've always been more like by my hands kind of guy, but there's only so much that these hands can do, and so much that they can fix without a little extra help. You know.
Right. Right. So, what kind of magic are you using? What are you having done to yourself, should I say?
Because I got this, and he kind of like waves the paper. Um,
Hmm.
like a bit vigorously, so it is kind of difficult to see what's on it. And he goes, "You see, I got this, not this one, but I took on a, a, a quest, a guild quest, and it took me into this dungeon, this cave, and I kind of like I ended up. I was supposed to go and retrieve, I don't know, some family trinket or heirloom or whatever, and and it was no easy task, but in the end I got to the end, and there was this ugly looking bird lady, and I was getting ready to you know do what needed to be done, and
Well, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but continue. I'm sorry.
oh, no, like like I was gonna say sticker, but I don't think that came out any better either. uh, I, I was she had the heirloom, and I was gonna kill her. I was gonna take it, but she offered me a deal, and she said that if uh, if I let her keep the trinket, and I did a little job for her, that she'd fix me up right as rain. And I didn't believe her. I didn't believe her at first, but I was like, what do I gotta lose? You don't look like you're going anywhere anytime soon. So I went and I did some stuff, and next thing I know, I'm feeling a lot better. Takes like a really big, like 3 gulps of his stein, to the point that like you can see some of the beer kind of like pouring down the side of his mouth, as he kind of like, what, give me a perception. Yeah, he is he's being very dodgy with his words, and he is trying hard to forget what he had to do. It was very clearly not something that he was proud of, and being a seasoned mercenary at this point, and somebody who put a number of years into the Royal Guard, um, with you, it is something like you guys have seen some stuff. So this, you note that this is very, very highly out of character for Andy.
All right. Are you happy with the end result of this, Andy?
Yeah, fit as a fiddle. I feel 10 years younger.
Are you gonna live longer though, or are you gonna live short?
It kind of does. He tries to lean in, but he kind of like wobbles a bit as he's leaning in. He's like, I could live forever if I wanna, but I don't think I'm gonna wanna.
I mean, forever is a long time. You see a lot of people come and go. I don't think I want to live forever. A long time, yes, but not forever.
Yeah, forever's overrated. But I mean, it's good that I don't hurt. Uh, it's good that my body doesn't hurt anymore.
Well, hey, I am no one to judge. If
Uh,
you are happy with this arrangement, then so be it. I'm happy for you.
thank you. He kind of like if he takes his hand that still has the other paper and he just like wipes it across his face, getting any excess mess of beer kind of off of him, and he's very. I mean, like you've seen him take like a good couple of hard swigs since you've sat down, but you're getting the impression that there's like things are starting to catch up with him. Like he's probably had a good couple of drinks like fairly in like rapid succession, and now it's all finally starting to catch up. Um, he starts making like the dry heave face. His words become even more slurred, but he's like every once in a while he'll just like throw his body upright to show how quote unquote sober he is. Um, this is what are you doing? Like hearing stuff.
Well, Andy, you good?
So good.
You're kind of talking to yourself now, but all right. Maybe you should go ahead and call it a night. I think you've had six too many.
Because listen, it is night. That's how I know I'm good, because it's night, and I call it night.
Is there something wrong with the day?
No, you said call it a night, and like it's night. It's night.
No, 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 no. I mean, maybe you should turn in for the night. Go to bed, get some rest, close your eyes, and sleepy sleep.
Full force, his head just forehead boom on the table, out cold.
Okay. Does anyone know where Andy is staying? Anyone?
So some guy at the bar turns around and he goes, "He's right there."
No, where he's staying, where he's not sleeping here. Where does he call his home?
Like, yeah,
Nothing.
yeah.
Okay.
Nobody seems to have any interest in that. In fact, like not a huge amount of the bar, but like a small kind of like, maybe like one or two tables in the bar just get like a really good laugh out of that really crummy joke, but like their laughter kind of like overtakes any possible conversation in the bar. And by the time like the laughter subsides, like everyone has like forgotten about Andy.
Is this is this like a bar or is it like a bar and inn?
So yeah, so it's called an inn, but it's like an all-purpose thing. So like during the day, that's where people will like come and gather and have like regular meals. But like once the normal meal time is kind of over, that's when that's where everyone starts to gather for like the nightlife. So that's when like you can hear like a band playing on the other side of the bar, and people are gathering, having a good time. It's pretty packed.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and try and get this guy up and over my shoulder,
All right.
kind of walk slash drag him over to the counter and get this drunk mofo a room for the night.
Okay. So as you go to pick him up, his hand holding the stein kind of knocks over, and the beer kind of pours across the table in the other hand, in the other direction. Let me see what's on that side of the table. Um, I would say on that side of the table, there's the parchment he had in hand. There's a rupee pouch, and I would say probably like a fairly nice, ornate, sheathed dagger.
Okay. Definitely not stealing his stuff. Make sure we gather all of him and his belongings.
All right, so you pick up the dagger, you pick up the coin purse, you pick up the parchment that is like has like that was the closest thing to the beer because that was in his other hand, but it is like sopping wet now. Um, if the color itself is starting to bleed, but give me a perception on that.
Okay.
18. Okay. So on that you can you can see that it is an Adventurers Guild quest, and it is a type of like wanted poster, and the hand etched drawing on it, which is like as I said, it's starting to bleed, but enough time hasn't really passed, so you can gather out that it is not a typical Yiga poster. It's black and white, but the Yiga symbol is upside down, which not a lot of people would associate, but you would recognize is a wanted poster for the Golden Yiga. Any other um, any other like writings and any words on that have been like completely smeared as a result of the beer spillage. So you gather up those items. You make your way over to the bartender because that would be where, at that point, who would be kind of setting up any room arrangements. Um, yeah, so you walk over, and he sees you kind of like carrying Andy. The bartender sees you carrying Andy kind of over your shoulder, around your shoulder. And the bartender laughs. He goes, "Another night for Andy. Is he good or
Yeah. Yeah, he's out for the count. Yeah. Got any empty rooms?
yeah, he's got a room.
Oh, he does. Oh,
Yeah."
great. Let's get him to his room. Which room is his?
He goes upstairs, second door on the left.
Stairs, second door, left. All right, got it. Wait, I didn't see a key. Crap.
The bartender
Yeah,
said,
we'll deal with him when we get up there. Do you have an extra key?
"He lost it again."
Well, I mean, well, you do see him. I didn't want to go rifling through his pockets and stuff, but you know what the heck? Let me look in these pockets real quick. And while he's holding him up, he's trying to hold him and look through his pockets.
So,
Ah,
so, so
just
like rifling through his pockets and the slurred speech you hear come through goes, not on the first date, Speedy. I told you, I'm not that kind of guy.
keys. Where are your keys, Andy?
And enough of him comes back. He's like, oh, golly, I was having a dream, and he reaches into his like far pocket and he kind of just like wavers it.
Perfect. All right, Andy, come on. Let's get you to your room.
Okay. So point of interest. The third door on the left was the room that you guys were staying in um with the hole in it that had the Minish. Thank you. Just for like
Gotcha.
point of
Gotcha. Okay.
reference. Just for point of reference.
Okay.
I was hoping.
Okay.
So you get to the second door on the left. You know finagle you kind of like wrestle the key away from him as he becomes very insistent that he can do it. Um,
Andy, I know you can do it, but you know what? Let me have fun this time. Let me do it. Come on, Andy.
all right, this time,
Thank you,
cause we're
Andy.
friends.
Yes, yes. Good. Yes. We are very good friends, Andy. Only a good friend would be doing this.
Yeah. All right. So you twist the key, you open up the door. Um, you know, dark room, no lights, a little bit of moonlight coming in. Um, enough that you can kind of like make out the general silhouette of like his bed and maybe a bookcase and you see like a pair of boots that you kick out of the way on your way to the bed and as you go to plop him down on his bed he kind of like the arm that's around your neck gets like very tight and he pulls you in close and he says, she's evil, so evil, and he goes completely limp.
Huh. Okay, I wonder if he meant that rhetorically or if she's actually evil. Yeah. Oh well. All right. Let's just go ahead and get this guy situated in his bed.
All right, so you lay him down. You kind of like prop a couple pillows up, on his side so he doesn't roll over onto his back. Get like the you notice that the blanket that's on his bed has a fairly noticeable odor of not only like beer vomit but stale beer vomit.
Oh.
Uh, like it's too dark to notice if there's any stains or anything, but the smell is just kind of like there. You may have noticed it when you first like when the door first opened, but it might have been kind of faint because the window was open, creating a fair bit of airflow. But once you got him situated in the bed, it was like the scent was like a smack in the face.
Yeah, yeah. After I get him, situated, I go ahead and start, prestidigitation this whole room down. Just trying to clean it up, get that scent out of here. I open the window while I'm doing this as well, because it's thick in here. A little hard to breathe. Try and get them cleaned up, get the beds cleaned up, get the room cleaned up a little bit. Then once we get to a point where it's actually breathable in here again, I'll go ahead and look him over, say a little inward prayer for him, and I'll Let them be for the night.
All right. That's,
This guy got himself caught up into.
all right. So him being just completely down for the Wait, is everything okay? My OBS is acting
Yep,
a little
yep,
funny. Okay.
yep. I still hear you.
Okay. Alright, I think I need to close out a couple tabs. Hold on a sec.
Sure.
Let's see, that's okay. We good. All right. So he all right. So he is kind of like completely down for the count. Um, before you leave the room, is there anything that you would like to do, observe, inspect, anything like that?
Let me take a look over this quest that he has.
Okay. So,
See what I can decipher from it, memorize, maybe take some notes.
all right. So you kind of take the parchment and bring it over to the window. In front of the window, there's kind of like a small cluttered desk, and you kind of move a couple things aside to make room for this parchment as you kind of lay it out and um, find an adjacent candle that you're able to light to illuminate it a little better. And um, the uh, the picture, as hand drawn, was um, now very undeniably of the Golden Yiga. As I said, you could tell from like the reversed pattern on the mask. Um, you look for any indication as to who. Well, first of all, the reward itself is written in very big and bold letters, but it is undeniably uh, accurate. Although you have a hard time believing it. But the reward is 50,000 rupees, and you're fairly certain that underneath it it says dead or alive. Um, looking for maybe who may have uh, been willing to pay such a hefty ransom on a wanted poster such as that. Uh, you're not able to make out a name, but having dealt with your dealings with the Adventurers Guild, you do know and you do recall that the um, the people who pay for these jobs um, have to file for them. So if you want to see who put this job in, you could most likely go to the Adventurers Guild and either ask them or persuade them to release that information.
And just point of reference for player knowledge, because I don't remember.
Mhm.
With these quests, is it one quest period, and like whoever grabs it gets it, or is it available to whoever completes it first?
So, well, one of the things that has been changed, like for the Cataclysm, is when a job gets posted to the Adventurers Guild, it gets posted to all the Adventurers Guild. So, like this wanted poster has been posted in all the Adventurers um, Guild quests all throughout Hyrule in every town.
Perfect. Okay.
Some quests, if they are repeatable, such as gathering quests. Like one of the things that Robbie would do is Robbie would put in a quest for people to bring him fire flowers from Goron Mountain, and that would be like a standard repeating quest. But something like a DOA quest, that's kind of first come first serve, not necessarily repeatable, unless there are multiple Yiga, and but you also can't tell from the wanted poster if this is for a specific Yiga. We know that there are at least 2 golden Yiga. So this could be per head. This could be for proof of complete dissolving of the group. But knowing that there are multiple wanted posters out there, it should not be that difficult to find a replacement poster or simply ask or persuade the Adventurers Guild for more information.
Okay. Thank you.
So I would say at this point you would have roughly 1 to 2 hours before we go into con-save territory.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and get him situated. Head on back downstairs. Maybe grab a drink or two. Get a quick bite, maybe some nuts or chips or whatever kind of bar snacks they have.
Not a
After
problem.
1 or 2 drinks. Yeah, head on back to turn it.
All right, sounds good. I would say shortly after you return to the bar area, you see that. Oh, jeez. What was her name again? From
One at the bar?
Cetos.
Leo? No.
Oh, Chloe.
Chloe, thank you. You see Chloe and Isaac at the bar from a distance. Chloe seems to be trying to, like, they both have drinks in their hand. And Cleo seems to be talking to Isaac, although he doesn't seem to be engaging in the conversation. But just from mannerisms, she is definitely explaining something to him. Do you want to approach that in any fashion?
Sure. Why the heck not? The DM brought it up. Yes, let's go check that.
Because every time I bring up something, it is something. All right.
Yeah, why not?
Do you want to do it? Do you kind of want to like meander over in like a stealthful fashion, or are you okay like just boldly approaching them?
Just boldly walking on over.
All right. So you
Hey,
both,
Cleo, Isaac, how are you doing this evening?
and you can see that the moment you call out to them, Chloe gets very red in the face. Not like not in an angry or upset way, but more possibly in like a embarrassed, maybe slightly frustrated kind of way. And her maybe her ears are a little red. She might be slightly intoxicated. You notice that that although holding a drink, Isaac drinks seems completely untouched. You can it's like a rocks glass, and you can see that it is like fully encased in condensation, but there don't seem to be any lip marks nor the level of the drink is exactly where it should be. And Cleo kind of turns to you and goes, "Ah, well, I mean, I said I'd get him out of the store, and I got him out of the." And then Isaac interrupts Cleo and goes, "She's trying to explain to me what a sapiosexual is."
What?
I know.
Well, I'm curious now. Continue, Chloe.
She seems even more embarrassed and bashful at this moment, as this was clearly not meant to be shared with other people. She goes, "It's as I was trying to explain to Isaac, it's when people are more attracted to someone simply because of their brain and intelligence rather than their physical being." And then an awkward
Oh,
silence.
okay. Oh, okay.
Uh,
Well, yeah, you don't know.
and she's just face even like completely just beat red at this point. And she goes, "Listen, I think I'm going home alone." She takes her
Okay,
drink
well,
on the counter, off in a huff, as she just, makes a beeline for the door. Isaac kind of looks at you and shrugs his shoulders and goes, "I don't know what that was about."
yeah, well, it's rather interesting conversation you were having there. How did you even get on that topic?
I don't know. I was just talking about work and, you know, reagents and potions, and then she made, I think, was a joke about a love potion, and I was like, and then she kind of, you know, told me that, uh, I don't know, you know what? And he kind of like,
Do you think that maybe she made the joke to see if you would respond in a way that, kind of shows that you're interested in her, that you might be attracted to her? Maybe that's what it was. And because it completely went over your head and she had to go into that really in depth explanation, that she just kind of, lost all drive to move forward with trying to see if you were interested or not, and just got exasperated. Probably didn't help that I came over here asking the same thing.
well, I mean, I guess she's as nice as anything, but I mean, she's a coworker, and it's not really kind of my uh, area of expertise. I quite honestly, I thought the whole love potion thing was a joke, and uh, I mean, I guess if that was uh, how it really was, I guess I could have handled it better. Um, I probably shouldn't have like laughed like I thought it was a joke, so I kind of like tried to laugh because that's the socially appropriate thing to do when someone tells a joke. And She didn't seem to like that I laughed. Now that you mention it,
Plot thickens. See, I think she might have been interested, but oh well. But
yeah,
just like you said, your coworkers, you don't do that anyway, so that's all
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's nice to get out. I mean, I haven't even, I've passed here all the time, and I really never. I mean, I've eaten, but I've never really been like here, like now.
I
Eh,
mean, did the two of you come together, or did you just happen to meet here?
No, she promised Lito that I would that she'd make sure that I left for the night. Honestly, I would have preferred to kind of stay there and catch up on some things, but you know, I didn't want to be responsible for her breaking a promise.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I think just me. I think that was an opportunity there to explore something further, but I think that might be neither here nor there now. So you can just forget about that prospect for
I mean,
it's kind of off the table.
I
But it
guess.
sounds like you weren't interested anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but I don't want to sound like I don't appreciate the gesture, but I mean, it's not a priority in my life right now.
No, completely understandable. That's fine. Just like it seems like drinking that beverage is not a priority either.
No, no, no. I seldomly partake if ever. I mean, if you'd like it, it's yours.
I mean, it looks a little watered down there, sir.
A little bit. I mean, I was holding it for so long that I felt like my arm was starting to cramp.
Yeah, yeah. You probably just go ahead and let that one go. It's, I don't think that's any good anymore.
He looks at it. He just kind of slides it a little bit further away from him. It's like, yeah. I mean, I think, you know, making the best of a situation. I, I was about ready to leave anyway, so I guess it's
Yeah, well,
good that I don't have anybody trying to stop me.
yeah. Definitely. You'll get no stoppage from me, sir. I'll let you go on about your merry way. It was good seeing you.
I thought that he kind of like puts his hand out for like a very formal handshake.
Yeah, yeah. He puts his hand out and he gives a nice firm shake. All right.
Yeah,
You have a good evening.
you too. And if this ever comes up, just this conversation didn't happen.
Yep. No worries. Yep. No worries. My lips are sealed.
He seems like very like not in like a bad way, just very in like a socially awkward interaction
Awkward.
kind of way. Just wants to like almost pretend like this whole night never happened.
Yep.
uh,
Yep. I get it.
and then he kind of just rushes out and well, not rushes out, but he leaves the bar, vacating it as well. So yeah, I mean that's kind of really it for the bar. Um,
Okay.
is there
Yeah, like I
anything?
said, he'll do his thing there in the bar and then he'll head back.
All right. So heading back at a reasonable time, like no
Yeah.
extending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's only gonna spend like another 30, 40 minutes there tops.
Okay. So all right, all right, so let me just get my bearings on this situation. Deacon, refresh me when you got back.
Um, honestly, in I just did all of that stuff for. I mean, I assume I could have done that probably within the hour, but I don't really know.
Okay, so you spent like the majority of like you were the first one back. I guess like
I would imagine so, most likely, yeah.
okay.
Because like once I did my thing, I was ready to just chill. Dekun is like too busy, like just going, heh, got him. That'll show them. Kill my friend, bastards. Yeah.
All right.
Attention.
So, you make it back. You know, first one really kind of like making it back and settling in for the night. Um, you know, almost in a way, just above anything else, I would imagine like trying to like establish your own alibi.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
All right. So you kind of like hang out in your bed. You know, I would imagine just kind of make pleasant conversation. You know, just kind of like general conversation with Athena. She's kind of going through when she comes up to do her embroidery. At that point, you know,
Mhm.
um, she's doing that, and then you know when she comes up, Leto is shortly before that, Leto goes down and he's been visibly absent for some time, and then um, how much have you had to drink, Gully? Like from like sober to buzzed to intoxicated. What would you say you are?
He's probably somewhere between sober and buzzed.
Sober must okay. So give me a perception check as you walk in, so I could measure it against Leto's stealth. Okay, you're I mean you're feeling pretty good. You know you're
Oh,
pretty
wow.
convinced that I mean you're not going to be doing anything with heavy machinery, but you know as you come through, you don't notice Leto at all. Um, but Leto, you do notice Gully kind of coming uh, in largely sober, but still kind of stumbling. Maybe because it's dark, maybe he's losing his footing a little bit. Um, at this
Maybe
being
he's
the
stronger
late,
than he thought.
yeah, at this point being kind of like the latest point in the night where everyone's just kind of like coming back to Cetos to turn in for the night. Um, do you in any way call out or acknowledge Gully as he comes in?
No, I'm just chilling downstairs.
All right. So Gully makes his way up. Um, notices that Afine's kind of like packing up her things. Uh, you know, Deacon's up there talking a strange amount about how he's been there the whole night and nothing fun or interesting has happened.
Exactly. Yep. Boring as ever. That's me. Boring old Decoon. Never does anything Decoon. That me.
So, any interactions with Afine or Deacon as you come up for the night? All right, you just kind of like get out, get situated in the bed, start to kind of like go through your thing. You know, you take one foot and kind of like push the heel of your other boot off, and as that boot comes off, you're like, ah, with the other boot, just kind of like wiggle your feet as the air just kind of like hits them for the first time all day. It feels like the coolness of the air feels so good that you're like, yeah, maybe you are a little more intoxicated than you think you are. So you don't want people to know um, about this joyous, jovial night that you've had. So you just kind of like stay to yourself and just kind of like get ready to turn in. And then for the last bit of the night, we come to Lido. Do you make your way up? Or do you stay in the cellar or what?
Kind of just enjoying the cellar at the moment. I realized I have a way of making light, so I decided to start putting some phosphorescent moss up, so that way there's some light inside.
All right,
And
very
then
nice.
once I'm done, basically I poke my head out and see if Athena's still in the pool, or did she actually take the bed upstairs that she normally did?
I thought the pool was upstairs.
No, the pool is downstairs. Pool's on the
Oh,
first level.
that's right. You know what? Then I have been narrating it inaccurately. Well, then I guess we'll take that over to Afine. Afine, after the embroidery, did you turn in upstairs or did you turn in on the main floor in the pool?
I probably turned in upstairs.
All right,
As much as I want to steal the pool for the night, I'm not going to.
very considerate. As you
Pretty
pop
big pool.
as you pop your
It's
head out,
enough
you
for
see,
me to like bend.
oh, the pool is vacant.
And I will go and just kind of climb in and just kind of just submerge under the water and just enjoy being submerged again. That's it.
All right, you got it. So
Oh, and I would have closed the cellar and regrown over it.
gotcha. All right, so everyone has an eventful and a restful night. Um, all right, let's give D20s to wake up. See how the order goes. Okay, Afine, you are the first to awaken. You can see kind of like Deacon resting and kind of nestled very comfortably with a little kind of like bubble as he goes in and out, exhaling and inhaling during his sleep. You can see Gully on his bed. Most of his body is on the bed. He appears to have been um, you heard him tossing and turning a bit in his sleep. Um, so most of his body is on there. You can see like his arm and leg are kind of like outstretched over the side of the bed, and the pillow that he normally sleeps with is on the floor, and his head is kind of awkwardly propped up against the headboard. And um, yeah, that is your first view as you awaken. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna stretch, get up, and head downstairs to see if I can find a glass of water and something that you'd take for a headache to leave next to Gully's bed.
All right. Um, so just asking because I wanna. Um, there is a restroom area that has a sink, and then there is the body of water that Gully that Leto is sleeping in. Where would you like to get the water from?
Definitely from the sink. I've met enough Hylians to know they don't like drinking up pond water.
Okay. Rifling kind of through Isaac's kind of medicinal area. Uh, it doesn't take very long for you to kind of like find a couple pieces of like root extract that you would readily recall are excuse me, beneficial for uh, how you anticipate Gully to be waking up. And then next we have Deacon. Deacon, you awakened and you notice that Afine is not present, but you do hear some rustling around downstairs, and you find Gully in a very similar fashion. What are you up to?
Um, let's see. Hmm. I guess that's an excellent question. I guess I would probably wander downstairs briefly. I would probably not be sure what to do. I imagine there's like the lingering paranoia of like, okay, let's. Seems like every other time I do something weird, guards show up. So, or every other time I cast a spell, guards show up. So let me go make sure that's not what's happening downstairs.
All right.
So,
Yeah, okay. So I could definitely understand that is the first thing your mind comes to, be like, oh shit, they got me. Um,
yeah.
but as you come in, you can see that you find um a fiend coming out of well, she has like a water glass in hand as she's kind of like grinding up this bit of root to kind of um in preparation.
Decoon looks like visibly relaxed when he realizes it is in fact not the feds. Um, he uh he asks, is that medicine for Gully or for you?
For golly, he looked like he might need some in a little while.
Mm. Sleeping on with like uh, I kind of heard him take off his armor on the late side, so um can I ask how you? I imagine I would have taken it at some point. Does it like taste bad in any way? Can I like press to digitate the water to just kind of like have a nice taste instead of like an earthy root taste to it? Like, like make it taste like juice with prestidigitation.
I can
Yeah.
tell you the herbs that most likely she would have gotten, which don't taste bad. One's peppermint and one's probably butner. Both of
Ah,
them aren't that strong. Peppermint's the most that you'd smell. Otherwise, they taste pretty good.
oh, okay, fair enough then. Uh, that's all I got then. I guess just like add as if there was some sugar in it or something. Yeah. But yeah, fair enough then. Okay. Well, I guess yeah, I'll ask if you so how are you doing?
I'm doing alright, thank you.
That's good.
Yeah. How was your night?
Oh, mine was okay. Totally uneventful, didn't do anything at all. Got some relaxation and, totally didn't do anything visible. um, but yeah, I don't know. I just had he smiles kind of softly and he's like, I just had another old friend on my mind last night, I guess. So I was just spent my time thinking about that.
Oh, happy
Um,
memories, I hope.
well, kind of. Um, you see, back before the he like gestures at the sky with like a swirly hand motion, like he's, drawing a circle in the air. Uh he's like back before the, cataclysm type stuff. I was friends with a bunch of Kokiri I met in what was in my world the slums of the city, and he points at the bourgeois part of town. And he says, um, "So I'll spare you the details because we knew each other for a very long time. And they call themselves the Lost Boys. I helped get them out of the slums, gave them a new home in Kakariko and such. Um, I'm not sure if you were around for this, but we ran into one of the newer versions of one of them. His name was Thudbutt, as I always knew him, Theodore Buttress. And yeah, he was being kind of mean to a waitress, so I pulled a prank on him, told him to like, give her like all of his money. And so I thought I would because he was being rude and I kind of knew him, so it was commonplace to do stuff like that to him. That sounds worse than it is. He would always like chase the girls around and stuff like that. It was that kind of relationship. Um, and anyway, so yeah, and then he went home, and then we were looking through town, Lito and I, and we found him face down in a pool for the people that he works for. Apparently, um, not thrilled. So we tried to figure out what was going on. We tried to examine his body and talk to the guards, who proceeded to stab him even more times because they thought he was a zombie. And I now I don't much care for that part of town. Um he he kind of breaks the story at this point as he just kind of mutters, uh if I knew how to read, I would have been writing killer all over all of their walls, but alas, I don't. And also, even if I did, they'd probably recognize my handwriting.
I am really sorry to hear all of that.
Sorry,
I
that's a lot. It's the morning.
no,
Um,
no, it's alright. Really, it's fine.
but yeah, so yeah, that's just some history. He says, kind of nervous for a second there. That's some history of the parts of town and here in Hyrule Castle Town. So I just say that because the posh types, you kind of gotta watch out for them. Is a word of advice. Just I'm not sure what you I know things might be a little different from the place that you come from, but yeah, they're a little more dangerous than they look over here around this part.
Thank you. I'll
Sorry.
definitely keep
Um,
that in mind.
mm, mm. But yeah, yeah. Thanks for listening anyway. Is there anything I can help you with this morning? Do you want me to I could go try and make breakfast for everybody. Yeah. I think there's some tea leaves around here. I could heat up the water and stuff, so yeah, I could help with that at least. Um but yeah, he'll
Yes,
go
please, if you wouldn't mind.
sure. He'll go like kind of get like, if there's any like loose tea leaves or anything like that around. And he'll just kind of like heat up a pot of water with prestidigitation to like a reasonable tea friendly temperature, like not to boiling, but like a medium strength, and just kind of brew like morning tea for and such for everybody. uh Take out like, I don't know, at this point he doesn't have any like proper food, just rations and stuff, but at least this will give everybody something to wake up to, something to chase the medicine down and such. Anyway, sorry.
So,
That's what he'll do from here.
all right. So, Gully, you awaken to the smell of brewing tea, and as your eyes open and the light hits your eye, the light hits your gaze. It's not a bad, like, pounding headache, but you definitely feel a certain level of discomfort. You remember, I would say you remember pretty much everything that happened that night. Um, Maybe by the time that you got to talking to Isaac, maybe the recollection of that just is a little bit fuzzy, but you definitely, although don't recall like specifics of that conversation, you definitely recall the gist of it. Um,
Okay.
and the first thing you smell when you wake up is the smell of tea leaves down, kind of like brewing through the whole store through Cedos. You look around and you see that um, both Afine and Deacon have already awoken.
Yeah. Um. He is going to almost in cartoonish fashion follow his nose to the scent of the tea.
All right. So um, as the aroma of the tea leaves pleasantly fills your nostrils, you awaken and you kind of like get out of bed and you just take like a nice deep breath as you're about to like push yourself off of the bed and very quietly you whisper to yourself, you're like, you got this. And with an oomph you're able to stand up and you catch your bearings, with relative ease, but still heading down the stairs, maybe a slightly tighter grip than normal on the banister. Um, and you can see that Afine and Deacon are down there, and Leto's down there too, but Leto's just very, like, he appears to be asleep. Uh, but given, like,
Can't believe Lito is fucking dead. Sorry.
and that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Oh,
So at this point, like, I mean, the store hasn't opened up for business. Isaac and Cleo haven't come in to get the place up and running, but just simply the sound of a fiend making, preparing something, and her and Deacon conversing while Deacon, as you can see, is now like preparing the tea. Very surprising that just the sheer, you know, the normal kind of conversation and actions haven't disturbed Leto's slumber. So what do you do? How do you come down? Or what do you say as you come down? All right. So who spots Gully first? Uh,
um, I'll wave to him. Gully, we made you tea, and Athene got you some medicine. The tea should help with the medicine. Makes it work stronger. Something in it.
Ah, awesome. Oh, this smells so good.
Yes, yes. Added a little bit of sugar to the medicine. Well, kind of, and magic. Figured it's celebration of the magic that you can do now. Favorite part of that prestidigitation spell that you mentioned you learned the other day. Make
Yeah,
things
yeah,
taste
yeah,
like
yeah.
other things.
Ah, okay.
Deacon does like the well, he like
Anything
holds
at all?
anything. Anything that you know of. You can make anything taste like anything. I like making bread taste like cinnamon because I can't always get that. But like it makes rations a lot more palatable.
Ah, oh man, yeah. Ooh, that will come in really handy with those rations. Oh yeah.
Deacon gives the thumbs up. Secret trick. Learned that it was one of the first reasons I even learned that spell. And when we made a bad batch of kombucha and it was suggested that I drink it anyway, I had to do that to make it not taste so bad. Not that it doesn't already taste like vinegar, I suppose, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. It so did you have an okay time last night, Gully?
Yeah. Saw an old friend, hung out with him a little bit.
That's cool.
Till he passed out on me, and whew,
Nice.
man. But oh, that reminds me.
Hmm.
He's he's on some kind of, I don't know, funky quest to kill a golden. Uh oh, golden. Shoot, I forgot the thing. Zelda stuff.
The Yiga?
Yes, Golden Yiga.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know. I think that might be a bit too much for him. I don't know.
yeah.
But it
That's kind
seems
of
like
wild.
it seems like a pretty cool quest that he picked up from the Adventurers Guild, though.
That does sound pretty
And it's
cool.
$50,000. Well, 50,000 rupees reward.
Ooh. Honestly, though,
Yeah,
the Golden Yiga haven't really hurt us yet. I haven't seen them do anything wrong, so I wonder why they want them. That's a lot of money.
yeah, and it's dead or alive.
Wow.
Yeah, I know,
Guess
right?
they just want the mask, huh? Deacon grins.
Possible.
Well, okay. So, next time they show up and they watching on us, spying on us real weird like, right? We ask them, "Hey, can I have one of your masks?" And we ask them really nicely, and if they give it to us, we pretend that we killed them when actually we didn't, and we just keep claiming the money.
There are people spying on us.
Oh, yeah, when we got out of the fire temple, remember the two people crouched above the entrance? One
Oh
of
yeah,
them
the
was
two
really quiet.
rascals.
Yeah, one of them was really quiet, and the other one was, Deacon, like, looks thoughtful. Making fun of us? Question mark? I don't remember.
Oh, I thought he was being rather sweet.
Oh, maybe he was. I honestly can't remember. Honestly though, I remember the first time they made it very clear that like if they wanted to attack us they could. We were traveling and there was like a big battle with other like Gerudo soldiers a while back. And essentially they stepped in to basically help us. So they are pretty nice as far as everything goes. So, they almost gave me a haircut even. That was nice. From a distance. With a shuriken. Yeah, so maybe they'd be nice enough to give us their masks.
So
Yeah,
at this
worth a
point,
try.
I'm, I'm
Gotta be.
I'm going to ask, um, Lido, at what point do you wake up? So
Most likely,
yeah,
he's probably been awake the whole time.
okay.
Just kind of staring at the ceiling, just like, okay. And then, once Gully comes down and they're having this conversation, he would just kind of roll slowly over onto his stomach and crawl towards the edge of his pond. And then when he's just about to get up, he's going to do a quick wild shape into a mastiff, completely drenched, then walk out towards them all. And when he gets close enough, he's just going to shake.
Nice. Ah, dog water.
Oh, wet
And
dog.
just sit there.
I look at Gully. Other best use of prestidigitation.
Yeah. Ooh. And Gully stars prestidigitation.
Does the same. The icky dog.
No worries, Afine. We got you covered too.
Thank
Ooh,
you.
sure.
Afine, this tea is phenomenal.
You have to thank Deacon for that. I had no hand in it.
Really? I thought this
Oh,
was definitely all you. Deacon, this is good stuff. Thank you.
I give a thumbs up. She made the medicine. I made it taste a little better. Hee hee. But yeah, happy to help. Tea is the first step of kombucha after all, so um
I'm
but
loving
yeah,
it.
good to hear it. Um so guys, what do you think you'd like to get up to today?
Yeah,
Uh
I'm always game for whatever.
word. Well, I was thinking two interesting options might be I don't know. I mean, we could always go to Lake Hylia if you guys want to essentially kind of see about that anomaly that we keep hearing about. Uh,
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
yeah. That's one thing we could do.
The Mastiff turns around, jumps back in the pond, and turns back into Leto. As soon as he hears Lake Hylia.
Let's see. There's the only other place I can think of is we could go see what's happening in Rito Village. I don't know if they have any dungeony stuff there, but it's worth a shot. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. Um, he says he looks thoughtful for a second, and he says, huh. I kind of wonder. Um, I kind of wonder what they might have there. One of the things I've been eager to check out is the potential of like their like armor and weaponry and stuff like that. I thought that could be pretty interesting. Um, yeah, not a big deal though. Let's see.
We don't have like a time limit or time limit or anything on anything that we need to do for Zelda, do we? The Queen? No.
I guess that's true. Is it okay if we
Kinda.
like? Oh, we might want to step it to Lake Hylia then, I suppose. I guess we have been getting spooky visions, and we probably should step it up a little bit, huh?
Yeah, well, then we should probably follow up on that then, huh?
Yeah.
think it's kind of any of the temples we could probably go do,
I mean,
or if you guys want to go do something interesting.
I
uh-huh.
mean, the temples are pretty interesting, but what you got in mind?
Well, you guys will come down into my little cellar, and you'll just trust me.
You're gonna lock us in there, aren't you? Because
No,
you
I'm
don't want to
going
go to
down there
Lake
too.
Hylia. Okay. Okay. I'll do it then.
Okay.
You're going in
Team
first. Then.
Gully. I'm not going first.
This isn't suspicious or suspect at all. Sure.
Yeah, what have I got to lose?
Exactly.
Okay. I wait for Lido to Lido us into the cellar.
So I will open the nice little cellar door and hop down. And when you guys come down here, you will now see it's got a nice flush floor of basically like kind of green, spongy algae, so that way it's not hard to walk on. The walls
Neat.
are basically now phosphorescent, so there is light in here.
Oh.
Not really bright, but still light. And then he'll go up to the wall and be like, okay, so I'm going to open this. Just everybody run through. I'll run first if you want, but you're welcome to or not.
Ooh.
I-
Okay.
Okay.
You got about like 6 seconds though, so you have to get through pretty quick. So am I going first or do you guys want to go first?
I'll go first.
And I love laughing and being evil like this. Just because I feel like it. I'm just gonna I'm gonna cast transport via plants
Okay.
to a place that only Puck has a map of. Because I created and gave it to him. If Puck knows what I'm talking about,
I am loading it up as we speak.
that's where
I'm
we're going.
terrified.
Okay.
And if you guys run through, I'll make sure I'm last. That way everybody's through.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll go in behind Gully. I will make that exact sound.
So, would you like me to describe what they see, Puck?
Yes.
Okay, so when you come out on a nice beach, which is quite wide and quite long. automatically, if you look to the right, you'll see basically there's just a lot of plant growth and whatnot, just like normal sea growth and whatnot like that. Directly in front of you, you see it's not a shack per se, but more of like a hut. Um, Surrounding it, there's little racks of drying fish. There's other little plant life basically growing. And then if you look more to the left, it's just open sea.
Hmm.
Ooh,
Okay.
So
Nice.
Lito will
cool.
take a deep breath and be like, "So, welcome to my place."
Nice. Wow. I haven't seen the
Wow.
water like this ever. Wow.
This is kind of where I
So,
grew up.
oh, nice. Thanks,
Thought,
Lito.
we've been doing so many weird things. This is kind of like a chill spot. And
Mm,
plus,
mm.
I need to check to see if my mentor is here because I have some questions for him. And
Okay.
of course, this is another place if we need, like hide somewhere. Now, Deacon, you kind of know where it is.
Makes sense. Do you have any I look around for any objects that I might be able to take from this place. You said it's like on the beach, right?
Seashells.
Yes, I will
Seashells
take a
galore.
seashell. I will take I will take a very pretty seashell.
They're
Let
like
me
all over there, the ones that we normally dry.
I want I want the magic conch shell. Can I get the magic conch shell?
That's in my
Sorry.
room
Ooh, cool.
inside.
Okay. I will take a clamshell then. Okay. Let's see.
All kinds of stuff. It's just
Excellent.
welcome. This is where I spent most of my days surfing on the waves. It's kind of
Nice.
relaxing.
That cool, Lito. That's very cool.
Gully, by the way, sorry, it's gonna suck for you because the armor probably will get banned in it. Sorry,
That's all right. No worries.
this is how I got my beach bod.
Nice.
I probably don't want to have armor on the beach. Can soak in the
Yeah,
sun.
well, we can go
Ooh, true.
inside. I might want to, make sure that Marty's either home or not.
Mm.
Mm, yeah.
So I'll make my way through the front door
Okay.
and see if it's actually open or not.
So you come to where you remember the front door to be. You remember
Hmm.
this old kind of wicker type light front door that would open up, um, and it's been replaced by uh, like these cascading uh, beads of hookah shells that are fairly thick and difficult to see through. So you come up to the door frame and just kind of put your hands in and part them to the side,
Hello.
and you see Marty. He's laying on the ground, facing the wall, uh, with his back to you.
Will make as much noise as I possibly can with the door and start walking towards him slowly.
You start like rustling the hookah shells. Get no response.
Marty, it's okay. You can wake up. It's me.
No response.
I will walk over and kneel down and try and low roll him towards me.
So you put your shoulder on his and roll him back in your direction. he lets out this big snore as he is just
Of
like
course.
the just drool on his face that has like puddled on this like hemp style hand woven colorful mat is just like there, and he is just very, very deep in sleep, and you breathe this sigh of relief after some mild kind of shaking. His eyelids begin to crack, and he looks up at you. He goes,
In a while.
"It's finally happened. So this is the afterlife."
Yes, it is. You are totally dead.
I
How does it feel?
guess it's gonna happen sooner or later. How did it happen?
Uh, how do you think it happened?
Surfing accident?
Yep, that's it.
I knew it.
Gnarly wave, and you just.
You know, you'd always tell me.
I go higher instead of lower. You always would go low and just like eat it.
Yeah, but those sick waves, man. Yeah.
You know what? Now that you're dead, we should totally go surfing right now.
It's not too soon?
No.
All right. So he like gets himself up and he grabs a board off the wall, tosses it to you, picks another board off the wall. He's like, just like old
Smack
times.
him with the board. Just smack him with the board.
There's not supposed.
Guess what? You're not dead, dummy.
Then where the hell have you been?
Well, that's the thing. Why don't you come outside and meet my friends, and then we'll talk about it.
So, would you like to describe Marty to the group as he comes out with you?
Okay. Marty is about 7'7". He's more manta ray looking of the Zora looking. He is green skinned. Does have the nice little fin on his back. Webbed hands, whatnot like that. Kind of dressed like Leto, except more like down to earth hippie style, where Leto has like the slight toga type across. He's just got more of like the two bands across and like something to cover his waist, and that's about it. And he's got basically puka shells around his neck, and he might be missing like a tooth or three in his mouth. Just very. Eh.
Yeah, so you just see this chill ass. It's not often you see somebody taller than Lito.
Oh no, he's
Like,
shorter than me.
I thought you were 6'7".
Lito's 8.
Oh,
Oh, I'm 8 foot tall. He's
oh.
7'7".
Well, let me rephrase
Slightly
that.
shorter than me.
So you see this just chill ass Manta Zora just come out of this hut, little kind of groggy in the eyes, kind of rubbing the side of his face a bit, and he goes,
Oh, sorry.
"So, welcome to not being dead."
Yay! Ohio. Wait, did he leave? I'm sorry. Like he walked out of the building, right?
Yeah,
When he
yeah,
said that?
he's in plain view with Lito now.
Okay, I cheer. Congratulations on not being dead, sir.
So,
Best thing that
everybody,
happened today.
yeah, it's the best thing that happens most days for him.
I
This is Marty. Marty,
think what you mean is meeting Leto is the best part of what happened today, as it is most days for the rest of us.
Yeah, they kind of raised me, so nah.
Ah, I see. That changes things. That's cool.
So,
Wow.
so Marty, the little one is Dekun. A really big one in the armor that he's probably gonna have to lose because I don't know if you have like something to like have him wear to go in the waves and whatnot like that. That's Gully, and the other Zora, kind of like us, is a fiend.
Welcome, everybody. Mikasa es su casa.
Aw, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Kind of built it too, so it's Mikasa too.
Uh, we
Aw, thank
we
you.
casa es su casa.
So, welcome to the beach. You won't find anybody around for a couple miles because druid. Marty's also a druid. Kind of sucks at it, but he's a druid too. Kind of gave me the basis.
Nice.
He does make a good seaweed burger though.
Mm, sounds tasty.
All
That's what I was supposed to
natural.
sell the first time I met you.
No meat.
Mm.
Ooh,
When
that
can we
sounds
get some of
nice.
those?
Well,
It's like, well,
I can take. You want to come with me into the water, Marty, or
yeah,
so we can go grab some.
yeah. Well,
Hey, guys, go ahead and make yourself at home. Room in the far right was my bedroom, so kind of stay out of it. I'm gonna go get some seaweed. Fiend, you're more than welcome if you want to come, because it's actually pretty nice down there.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay,
Marty's like,
guys, chill. We'll be back.
Marty's like this.
I immediately. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, and Marty goes to like He's like, the water is like nothing you have ever experienced. You'll love it.
It's true.
Uh,
I'll take your word for it. Looking forward to it.
and what's up? What was Deacon gonna say?
I was just gonna say I immediately go snoop in Leto's bedroom. No, I am joking. However,
You're fine. Dude. Very basic in there if you go in there.
I understand he needs his privacy. That's where he keeps his diary and such. I was just teasing.
It's okay. I actually have an outlaid the inside of the house too.
Ooh, nice. I do want to go inside.
If you look, I imagine like if you look inside like Lito's room, there's like lava lamps and like the
Hell
electric
yeah.
static bowl. There's
Classic.
there's a couple pictures of like Zoran supermodels on Zoran sports cars.
Perfect.
No.
what,
No.
what does Lito's childhood room look like?
Well, there of course are shelves that are made of shells.
Shell shelves?
Which basically yeah, he's got like a Ruth Goldberg type thing where, he's got little pearls that he's found that are like worthless that just like drop down to one to another and it kind of forms this little rotating little thing. It just brings this nice little pearl back up, it drops down, goes back down. It's just nice and like a ting 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 sound and then ting 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 ting. It would have basically his water bed, which is just basically a basin of water, that might have his animal of some sort that he grew up with, probably some kind of fish that's still kind of alive. Maybe it was replaced a couple of times by Marty as he was growing up, but he's never realized that.
Goldie
There's of
lasts
course like
forever.
little exactly. There are sand dollars on the wall, basically showing how old he was when he got them, because he kind of etched in them. There are starfish that are just on the basis of like the back, but he's gotten different color ones to kind of give the room some kind of color. Otherwise, it's very like hand. And there's a little book of like animals, like learning to greet animal type things, and it's just something that Marty drew up for him.
That's cute.
That's basically it. And he's got like one drawer of clothes that look like the same outfit over and over again.
Hell yeah.
But nobody knows that because nobody peeks.
Exactly.
Correct.
So, okay, Athene, Leto, and Marty go into the water to start to harvest some fresh seaweed for seaweed burgers. Um,
Grab some clams too, because I know Gully might like those too.
that I was actually just to ask that, like, does anybody else like request anything else, like any clams, crabs, uh, fish, kind of?
Never had seafood before.
The local one, besides clams and seaweed, we do have eel, but they're kind of tricky to get. But I could probably get you one.
Sea noodle.
Okay, I could probably
Thank
do
you.
that. Ellie, any requests?
Just good stuff. A wide
Okay.
variety.
Okay,
I'm
you can
not
do that.
picky.
Okay.
All right, so Marty gives Athene and Leto little kind of like nets, to fish and kind of like catch everything that they have in there, and um, the immediate sense of familiarity of the open sea as Leto kind of dives into the water. It's the first time in a very long time. Actually, the first time in any iteration of this campaign that Leto has really felt that he was home. The openness of the ocean swaying back and forth, the familiar smells and just taste of the ocean as it runs through his gills, and the the unmistakably the unmistakable clarity of the water. It's one thing to know that you miss something, and it's an entirely different thing to realize how much you've missed it. And it takes a moment, like he's kind of just lost in for a brief point in time, just lost in taking everything in before his reminiscing is cut short by Marty calling out to him, and he looks and he sees Marty kind of teaching Athene how to fish. She has a couple things, a couple clumps of seaweed in her net, uh, and a couple clams, and Marty has already about 3 to 4 times that in his. And Marty calls out to Leto, and he goes, "Come on, we got the new one showing you up out here." And this is where we'll cut it for tonight. With
That was cute.
Aw.
so Leto taking everything in with that, taking feeling once again that he's home, and Fiend taking in this whole new sensation and getting a first-hand teaching lesson from Leto's mentor, Marty, and Deacon and Gully finding themselves in an area of Hyrule that they had no idea was even here, or even necessarily where here is. But it's good, and it's quiet, and it's safe. And for everything that specifically Leto has been through with, and all these instances that Leto has taken upon himself to burden himself and blame himself for, even at times. None of that exists right now. So, thank you for everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you for everyone who partook in our 20th episode of the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign, and for for anybody new that may have been joining us in our new time slot, welcome. For those who have come to join us from our former Friday time slot, thank you as well for coming with us. I see familiar names in chat, and you're all awesome. So, we have a number of things that I'm excited to talk about next Monday. Things that we have unfolded in tonight's session. I'm excited to talk about anything else that might be coming up. Any side things we do, because quite honestly, we talked last week. We talked about so much we didn't even get around to recapping. So that was a wonderful thing that I had so much fun doing. And in fact, I was talking to the party after last week's session, and next week's chat session is going to be our first and potentially permanent everyone on mic session. So it will not just be either me monologuing or me playing off a deacon. Everyone in the party who was there will be on mic. So I'm very excited for that. And I hope everyone else is too. So until next week or next session, thank you and bye.
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 E.